Hey guys, welcome to my first training blog or vlog. This is going to be a series that goes on for a long time, and I'm going to try and upload twice a week at least. Probably more considering how often I do physical training, but definitely 2 times a week for the main gym sessions where it's mostly weights. You can see me skipping in the background here, it's just a warm up. And the main focus of this entire series really is I'm going to document my entire journey from having a year off of proper training and documenting my journey back to, peak strength, peak conditioning, all of that. Now, when I say year off, I was playing football, or soccer for you American guys. And I was hitting the gym at the same time for my strength and conditioning. And during my peak of strength, which was probably about 2018, before I got a little bit unlucky with some injuries here and there, which I could still play, but it just stopped me from consistently getting the right gym training in. So my strength fell off a little bit, but yeah, 2018 was my peak, and those are the numbers that I'm going to try and hit again. So, giving myself about, a year or two to do it. And I'm going to document I'm going to document my entire journey. So, starting off today, I did some split squats. Now, for context, I got off a plane about 5 days ago. It was about 24 hours total trip, which takes a lot out of you physically. You get stiff and you're not moving as freely. So a lot of the focus today was just not really worrying about, pushing heavy numbers or anything like that. I usually have 2 leg workouts a week, and one of them has more single leg work. So that's like what you're seeing here, which is a Bulgarian split squat. And the first set I don't even push it that much. I just kind of want to get some blood flow going. The second set is usually a lot better in terms of range, and I think that's something that a lot of people forget about, that one of the ways to progress and one of the ways to overload and one of the ways that you can see a difference or you can see improvement is actually in your range and, your quality of movement, how easily you move throughout range of motion. I think a lot of people don't really consider that, but they should, because it makes a big difference. And I think that single leg movements like what I did today was, these are the kind of movements that are good to just try and find some range again before you start pushing heavy numbers and bigger lifts like, a double leg, like a squat or a deadlift. So, yeah, Bulgarian split squat. I used to have a love-hate relationship with this exercise because it's the only exercise in the gym that I've ever injured myself during a gym session. Whenever I've injured myself, usually it's been on a football pitch or running or something like that. But yeah, Bulgarian split squat. I injured myself doing it in 2019. For reference, I'm lifting 30 kilos here, just pretty easy, controlled. But in 2019, I hit some heavy Bulgarian split squats without warming up properly. I was definitely rushing, and I was strapped for time trying to get a workout in, and it wasn't a major injury, it was just like a minor strain, but still, I went straight to a heavy weight for Bulgarian split squats. I think off memory it was 75 kilos, but I was doing some lower rep stuff, so I think 2s or 3s. Usually with this sort of exercise, I think it's probably better to do for higher reps. You can push it for lower reps, but you just got to be really careful. Obviously, I wasn't at the time. And yeah, so I like powering through the higher rep sets. I don't really spend too much time, at this point, sitting in the bottom of a split squat because I haven't built up to that yet. To be honest, I think I've got to really, really work through 30 kilos, get really comfortable right at the bottom, take my time with it, be able to pause. All of that is a way of measuring progress. And like I said, just got off a plane, so I'm a little bit stiff. And for more context, I'll give you guys a timeline of my training schedule since I landed. So actually, this workout was on the Wednesday. I'm recording this on the Thursday, but I got off the plane on Friday night, pretty late, 9:30, 10 p.m. And the next morning, the Saturday morning at 8 o'clock, I had a training session, which was running with a track and field type session, learning how to sprint again, because, I haven't played football for about a year now, or maybe a little bit more, and sprinting is very important. So just doing some sessions to learn how to sprint again, get my running technique back and all of that. And so that was Saturday during the day. Sunday morning, I trained again. I did some work with a ball, just some stuff for dribbling and skills and that sort of thing. Just getting used to getting touches on the ball again. And Monday, I actually had a rest. I was very tired, very jet lagged. I was sleeping probably 3 or 4 hours in the first couple nights. And yeah, it's just all over the place. Next exercise that you're about to see is a Romanian deadlift, single leg. I was feeling better and I was feeling warm, and usually because these kind of fatigue, your grip holding onto the bar and also your lower back, and there's just a lot going on balance-wise as well, I find that I respond better to lower reps of these, whereas with the split squat, the previous exercise, because it's a bit more stable, I find higher reps tend to work better. But like you probably see throughout this series, I might go back and forth, I might contradict myself. It just depends with how I'm feeling and what I'm finding my body responds to. So anyway, Sunday I trained once with the ball. Monday I actually had a rest and did some mobility stuff. Saw my physio just for like a checkup, check on how everything's going with my body. Where am I tight? Where am I struggling for, range? And does some manual therapy and just helps release the muscle tissue, which I think is very important nowadays, especially if you're training a lot. So that was Monday. Tuesday and Wednesday is where I really stepped up the training load. Usually I think I have a very high training load usually, and I did when I was playing. So I'm trying to build that up again. Tuesday I did a triple training session. So in the morning I did some boxing. I have been boxing for the past year while I've been away from football, and it's really good for fitness and self-defense, and fighting in general I think is good. Just as something you have to experience, to be honest. So I did a boxing session at 7:30 in the morning. What else did I do? I did more ball work on probably just after lunchtime, and that was about an hour, maybe 40 minutes, plus a warm-up of 20 minutes, so yeah, an hour in total. Then a running session again with the track and field group, and that was my probably about ended up being 4 hours, I think, of training total for the day, which is quite a lot, especially when you're not sleeping properly. And that was pretty tiring, took a lot out of me. I was feeling pretty stiff the next day. Wednesday, which is the day that I did the gym session. Just for reference, I'm in future going to try and record all the voiceovers on the same day as the session and get the video uploaded. So today I'm a day late, but it is what it is. Wednesday was ball work in the morning, another hour of that, and then weights, which you are watching now, in the afternoon. So that's a pretty standard day, to be honest. Double sessions used to be my bread and butter. I rarely did triples. There was a time where I was between clubs playing football, and it was getting ready for a transfer, so I had to keep myself fit, and there were a couple sessions where I trained twice a day, between 6 and 7 days a week, so it was 12 to 14 sessions a week. And I think it sounds like a lot, but you just got to put it into context and think about what you're doing in each session. And you also have to auto-regulate. So what I mean by auto-regulate is How's your body feeling? I'm just going to change the topic really quickly. So the exercises that you're watching me do now are Nordic curls for your hamstrings, and then reverse Nordics for your quads. They're the normal Nordic curls where you fall forwards and you try and resist that with your hamstrings are not only hard to do, but they're actually hard to set up, because if you don't have another person to sit behind you and hold your heels down, then you won't be able to do the exercise. So I had to kind of make do here with a bench and some weights on there, and it's a little bit annoying because the weight plates are slippery, so you can see me putting a towel between the plates now, just to stop the plates from slipping around and falling off. And you have to put a fair bit of weight on there because, it's got to be more than your body weight. Otherwise, it won't work. But yeah, Nordics are pretty tough. I usually micro dose them, so very low volume, low reps, low sets, especially at first, and especially after traveling. They're very high strain on your body, and they're good though. The higher something is, the higher strain an exercise is, usually the higher the benefit is, usually. But they're really good, and they're mostly eccentric focused, which is the lowering part where you're resisting the weight going down against gravity. Now I'm doing some Copenhagen, well, I think some people call them Copenhagen Bridges, but I just call them Copenhagens. It's just for your groins, your adductors, which is a body part that I definitely didn't strengthen enough back in the day, and I'm not going to make that mistake again. So I'm doing a lot of this sort of stuff, adductor work, just get my groin stronger. And to be honest, I'll touch on it in another video, but I've actually implemented, or I was implementing before traveling, some machine work with machines at a public gym. And it's a pretty contested topic, whether or not machines are good for you. And I think, like a lot of other things, you have to look at the context of when you would use them, when you wouldn't, what they're good for and what they're not good for. But yeah, like I said, that's a conversation, a topic for another video. I'll probably film some sessions in a public gym and talk about it then. And supersetting with the Copenhagens, I just did some rollouts with the ab wheel. So this is good, I think, for obviously your abs, but also hip flexors, because you got to think that you're bringing your knees up to your chest to help with the exercise, to raise your body upwards. And it's good because it's very rare to find exercises that can target your abs that have a high intensity. And what I mean by that, exercises that are really difficult. A lot of people do sit-ups, and you might have to do 50 to feel a solid burn. But with an ab wheel rollout, you do 8 reps and your abs are on fire, and then they're sore for 3 days. So I really like them, and yeah, I was supersetting that with the Copenhagens. And today's workout was kind of small, kind of not that complicated, just hitting some simple things. I just wanted to cover all the basic areas. I did miss out the abductors a little bit, to be honest, but I can make do in the next session and do some abductor work to compensate with the adductor work, and just balance out the groin work with some either glute medius or TFL, but depends on the exercise. But yeah, that was the goal today, covering some general strength exercises for my legs, trying to get all the muscle groups and not really worry about too much intensity, not trying to break any personal records yet. And in the following session, I'll probably do some double leg squats, or squats normally. Probably put the weight up a little bit, get some kilos on the bar, because at the end of the day, we're also training our central nervous system. We're training our body to produce force at the end of the day, and I think there's definitely a place for it. So I'm also going to do some videos about what I was lifting, what I was doing in 2018, 2019 when I was at my strongest. I'm going to try and find some old footage. I think I've got some somewhere. I've definitely got the old program, like the spreadsheet where I had all the exercises and all the weights listed. So I'm going to probably post that on a next video, on whichever video I put the old footage in, basically. But yeah, this is going to be an interesting journey. I'm going to try and upload as much as possible, and I'm also going to try and train as much as possible. So it'll be interesting to see where it goes. But anyway, if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. I've got another channel where I just talk about life and philosophical stuff in general. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, stay tuned for the next one, and leave some comments, whatever you want. Encouragement, criticism, not really fussed. And catch you in the next one.